Taylor's headed back to the UK for 5 more London shows, so I can only imagine that she will do something.
Like invite the families.
Hello, and welcome to the TMZ Swiftie podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Miller, and today joining us, TMZ writer, producer, writes the stories extraordinaire, Alyssa Ray.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thanks for being here. We have a lot to get to today. Taylor Swift breaking news of the week. This is a hard one to start with. So let's just dive right in. So Taylor is addressing what happened in the UK. So if you haven't heard, there was a Taylor Swift themed dance workshop in the UK. And there was a mass stabbing, which we think has sadly left 3 young children, unfortunately, dead, which is truly horrific. There was, I think, 5 or 6 more in critical condition.
And it's a mix of children and adults. There's 2 adults who are, I think, still in critical condition. And reports are saying that they put themselves in harm's way to save the kids.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
That's true. A lot of people are saying that if this was in the US, that it would have probably been all of them because it would have been a gun rather than a knife. That's solace. I don't know. But
as of right now, there's not naming the suspect, but someone I believe is in custody. I know there was footage going around of somebody pacing in front of a house like 20 minutes before the attack. So hopefully there'll be more clarity on the situation coming soon.
a 17-year-old guy from Wales or something.
Yeah, originally from Wales, but had moved to the area in 2013, I guess.
And then took a cab, didn't pay the cab fee.
Yeah. It's definitely still unfolding and developments are coming. But the real hope is that justice is served at the end of the day for these victims.
I guess. I mean, the justice doesn't feel like enough at this point.
Yeah, it's truly, truly horrific.
Taylor Swift has addressed this. She said the loss of life and innocence and the horrendous trauma inflicted on everyone who was there, the families and the first responders. These were just little kids at a dance class. I am at a complete loss for how to ever convey my sympathies to these family. I'm sure she'll do something. Swifties have united to do GoFundMes. Taylor's headed back to the UK for 5 more London shows, so I can only imagine that she will do something.
Like invite the families.
And for sure invite the families. For sure meet with the kids that are in critical condition at the hospital. Hopefully they'll be doing much better by the time she gets there, but I'm sure she'll go and meet the families personally, meet the kids, make the rounds at the hospitals, and have them out to the show.
It's gotta weigh heavy on her heart too, just because obviously she's not tied to this event in any way. She wasn't responsible. It's not like it was a sponsored Swift event, but it's like they were invoking her music. It was a celebration of her, and someone just capitalized on that to wreak terror. It kind of reminds me
on little kids.
I know. It kind of reminds me of that Manchester bombing with Ariana Grande, like a similar level of being like targeting a beloved pop icon and their fans and like just tainting such a celebratory moment, and just ruining happiness.
I feel like it would, I just wonder if it had, if he did it in the name of Taylor Swift, which would be so sad.
I think it's more just capitalizing on an outdoor, it was like, my theory is opportunity. Obviously there's
saying classes everywhere.
Yeah, I guess true. But I just think it's like it was an outdoor event, so the access is easy. I believe it was an outdoor event. But and again, like Swift is, she's at her all-time peak fame, so a lot of people are gonna turn up. So if you're looking to get the most damage, you're gonna go after where people are gonna show up. It's terrible. It just makes me nauseous. It's awful.
Bad. Okay, shall we move on to more
lighthearted news?
Lighthearted news?
Not as deep.
Not as deep. Okay. Karlie Kloss, Taylor's nemesis?
Frenemy? I don't know. Estranged bestie?
Who used to live at Taylor's house. Taylor was one of the best friends to her. Showed up to SoFi Stadium, which is unclear where she sat at SoFi when she attended the Eras tour. I thought it was like up in the like nosebleeds. Some people think it was lower. It looked up pretty high to me.
All we know is it's not the VIP tent, which speaks volumes.
Yes. Although there were reports that Taylor found out that she was there and she got moved to the VIP tent.
But that she wasn't originally there.
Yeah, that's true. So she was asked about Taylor Swift and about attending the Eras tour. And then obviously the new Tortured Poets Department album, which here comes the first red flag. Karlie Kloss, talking about TTPD, said, I'd say the whole album, saying like, which is your favorite song? I'd say I love the whole album. I mean, her music is classic. Like, tell me you don't know the songs of her album without telling me you don't know. Like, if you the whole album, you can't pick one. Because if someone asked me, like, what do you like off that album? Like, I would have to, like, name, like, 4 or 5 that I was in a complete toss-up about, which was my number 1.
Yeah. And it's like, or just name the single. Just say Fortnite. Like, that's the safest answer.
Say Fortnite.
It's everywhere on every station.
Everyone knows Down Bad.
I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
Please.
Like, come on. You could have named at least one. It was the laziest non-answer.
She just had like a blank and she goes, and she didn't want to be like, the one with Post Malone.
I honestly think she's a little scared of the Swifties. And to be fair,
she should be.
We're a passionate bunch. But yeah, she treads so lightly when it comes to talking about Taylor.
Because she screwed her over when it came to Scooter Braun purchasing her masters.
100%.
Like, we don't... This is like, Karlie, we know what you did.
Right.
Everyone knows what you did. Taylor knows what you did. Don't go to the Eras tour.
It's giving fake.
Don't show up. Like, you've obviously got better things to do.
Yeah.
Maybe go have brunch with Scooter. And just do what you did. Like, own it. We're good. As Taylor says, we don't need your closure.
I honestly think people would respect her more if she was like, you know what?
I fucked up.
Yeah, and be like, we were once close and we grew apart. I'm, trying to just be respectful and not talk about her at this time. Instead of pretending they're still anyway close, anyway friends. I don't know, but maybe they're trying to behind the scenes one day, like, repair that friendship.
I doubt it.
They always say friendships ebb and flow. You never know which way it'll go.
Sure, friendships do ebb and flow. However, when you completely screw Taylor Swift out of owning her masters, that is something that I don't think she...
At least she hasn't gotten the Kim Kardashian treatment. There's no, like, what is it? The Amy song? There's no... not quite.
Some people think it's about her.
Really?
Yeah, I changed your name and any clues.
True. I still think it's about Kim. I think she just loves to needle Kim.
I think Closure is about Karlie Kloss off of Evermore. Song 14.
Mm-hmm.
We're a bunch of sickos over here. Anyway.
Now I'm like literally going in my head. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
It's sad that I know track for track. Like, I could name
That's not sad. That's iconic.
Truly. But then she goes on to make matters worse. She says, as for her favorite of all Swift songs, she goes, she's got so many hits. Duh. She says, I definitely love Shake It Off.
I like OK 2014. Like, I can't with that right now. It is again, another lazy answer.
Lazy.
And it's like referencing when you were once friends, and also Shake It Off of all the like masterpieces that Taylor Swift has written. Not that Shake It Off isn't a banger, but like, come on. In recent years, you couldn't name one other hit.
If you had to go with 1989, like, at least be funny about it. Say Bad Blood.
Right.
Like, at least we'd get a laugh out of that.
Or even reference Taylor's version, like being like, oh, I love all the new tracks that she added, or something, like respect what she's done in recent days.
Respect the trials and tribulations she's had to go through because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Karlie Kloss, we've got bad blood. And she needs to calm down. And all the other references that I'm not considering right now. Anyway. We're good, Karlie. Next. Anyway, on to our next subject. This is sure to cause controversy. I look forward to hearing the comments. Gary Holt, who is the thrash metal rocker Exodus guitarist, says that, and listen, I hate to get ahead of myself here, but there's some truth behind this.
Oh, you and I might have some differing opinions here. Ooh.
So Gary Holt says Beyonce is super overrated and not at all that talented, whereas Taylor Swift, in his opinion, blows her out of the water on multiple fronts. He says he gave a harsh review of Queen Bee, Beyonce's catalog and accolades, claiming her body of work has required a massive team, including songwriters, comparing her to Taylor. He called Beyonce one of music's most overrated stars with just marginal talent, and also crapped on her daughter, Beyonce.
Blue Ivy.
What did I say?
Beyonce.
Oh, crapped on her daughter, Blue Ivy. It was saying pure nepotism, blasting her over the fact that she's won a Grammy because she probably threw some fucking kindergarten rhyme on one line. And let me just say this before you defend Beyonce, who I love.
Mhm.
I love Beyonce. However, all of the things that he said is true. And if we really think about it, Wild, don't look at me like that.
Mm-mm.
Do you need to get over here? You want a mic? Let me just finish what I'm trying to say, and then you can look at me like I'm a crazy person.
I'm letting you say your piece, but
let me just get my piece out. Taylor Swift doesn't have a team of songwriters that she's written 11 albums, 4 album of the year at the Grammys. I don't want to mention this again, but Beyonce has never won album of the year at the Grammys. She's also has a team of songwriters that help her produce these fucking bangers that Beyonce... What is he writing down? Beyonce has hit after hit after hit that has been a collaborative effort by tons and tons of people. She did give Blue Ivy nepotism. She shouldn't have got her daughter a Grammy. She shouldn't have brought her out on tour. All of this is... Where's the lie?
okay.
Is Beyonce incredible? Yes. In comparison to Taylor Swift, she blows her out of the water. On every front. I've never seen Wild so angry.
I agree with Wild.
What did Wild say? Because I don't think he has a mic.
I
slashed my throat from a distance.
I mean, yes, on the songwriting front, Taylor is a lyricist. She's a genius. That is her strength, and we celebrate her for it. Hold on, I gave you your space. I gave you your time.
I'm talking, Mr. President.
I do want to say, for starters, why are we trying to pit Beyonce and Taylor Swift against each other? They have already stepped out ahead of this narrative and supported one another. They have showed up. They have celebrated each other's films. We are letting this man pit these strong, powerful, impactful women in music against each other and trying to find faults instead of just seeing that their trajectories have been different. Their careers have been different. Their impacts into the culture have been different. And we should celebrate them for different reasons. Taylor Swift, yeah, she's like a Stevie Nicks, a lyricist, incredible, wordsmith. I totally see it. Beyonce's dance, I love Taylor. Beyonce as a dancer is another level. She's a star, a powerhouse, an incredible singer. The Nepo point, I don't care about Blue Ivy. She gets booked in everything because she's Beyonce's daughter. I don't think she's this little protege genius. But whatever, it's the Nepo baby conversation is happening across the board. Half of the celebrities we have now are because their parents were famous, like Dakota Johnson, Jack Quaid, even the Sheens, Emilio Estevez,
the Mike Duckman.
Right. It's the kind of thing where it's just established a part of the culture. So Beyonce's just taking advantage of an already existing system to benefit her daughter, and her daughter wants to do it. I don't feel comfortable giving this Gary guy, sorry, I don't know who this guitarist is, any power or authority to, bash one woman against the other. I just think he's being problematic, and we shouldn't fuel this negative rhetoric when they're not even beefing.
Here's my biggest issue. And I'm glad that it was you, Alyssa, sitting in this chair over Wild, because I think you said it in a nice way, whereas Wild would have got up from his chair and probably said it less nice.
He would have flipped a table.
Flipped a table. However, I do agree with what Wild said. Beyonce's dancing is, of course, some of the best of all time. We can put her at number 1. We can put Taylor at number 2.
She's not even number 2. Like, I love Taylor, but she's not number 2 at dancing.
Beyonce's singing is unreal, unbelievable. But my only point is Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift because of Taylor Swift. Beyonce is Beyonce because of a team. She has better dancing abilities, better singing abilities, but she wouldn't have the material to get there without the team.
But also look at her come up, though. She was always curated by a team. Her father and mother were creating her costumes, the way she presented herself, the way she was in a
Taylor
group.
was at the wheel the whole time.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, from a young age, Taylor has always been able to drive the narrative of her success, where Beyonce over the years has had to reclaim it. And she's actually become an incredible creative director for the vision of the Beyonce brand. And yes, there is a team, but they are following her orders. If you are watching the documentaries, every single note that she gives is respected, valued, and powered forward. She's just utilizing the resources of being a juggernaut in this business by delegating. And frankly, that might be healthier for the spirit, being able to give off certain tasks and not being overwhelmed and being present with your family and X, Y, and Z and having, a fashion line and brand, movies. You're able to accomplish it. I'm not saying Taylor can't do that. She absolutely can. She has the skill set. But Beyonce's just gone about it a different way. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. They're just both powerful and strong in their own ways.
I'm going to tell you this right now. It's very annoying how smart you are. God, Jesus. Just tore me apart limb for limb. It's fine. There always has to be a number 1. And for me, it's always Taylor.
Fair. I mean, you host the Swiftie podcast. I think that's like on brand.
All right, moving on to our Travis update. Our daddy Travis Kelce.
This hot little mustache back.
Woo!
Smoking.
I'm screaming. Okay. Our Father in heaven.
Or in Kansas City.
Yeah. Whatever that saying is. He has blessed a young child with his gloves. So they're at training camp. There is a young Swiftie in the crowd. She has In My Red Era with red and yellow colors on. He spots this young child and gives her the ultimate gift. His gloves. He threw it, I think those things were pretty expensive. They have 87 on them. There's a whole bunch of little Travis Kelce logos. Custom. Threw one. Didn't quite make it to her. Threw the other. She got the gloves. The aunt or whatever said I was completely unhinged and lost my mind. That isn't doing it justice.
I mean, Travis Kelce's a man of the people. He loves his fans, and he loves now the Swifties who've adopted him. And he's
adopted us.
Yeah,
he's adopted him. He's adopted us.
He's reveling in it. Which is like we've said before, so opposite of so many of her other relationships. Joe Ellen, Maddie Healy. All of them. But no, it's the kind of thing where it's I think that's why we love Travis so much, is because he loves us back. And in a way that he's not making us feel badly for showing up at training and being a Swiftie and just wanting to be 6 degrees of separation from Taylor.
He literally encourages it. He's grateful for us to be there. He's taken us in as his own.
It's smart branding, honestly.
He is our father figure.
It's the smartest branding, and it's only raising his profile both outside football and in the league, because it helps sales of his jersey numbers. It gets him commercials. It has people streaming his podcast. He is establishing this really all-American, sweet-natured brand. And who wouldn't want that, while also treating, the world's it girl like a princess?
And her fans, He cares.
Yeah.
He does high fives with us. He talks to us. Joe Allen would never. He would look at us and be like, pfft.
And the fact that it's the whole family, like Jason Kelce is taking friendship bracelets and Kylie is being kind to fans.
Mm-hmm.
It is an established tone from all of the Kelces.
A family affair with Taylor Swift.
And I love it. And it's like they've just embraced all of us in the way that she's embraced them. It's why we're rooting for them. And yeah, it's been like what, a year, a little over a year. But I'm so invested in this relationship. I think it's the healthiest one we've seen in a long time. Mainly because they're letting us see it. One, two, I think it's just really, it feels really positive and supportive.
Yeah, he's the one. He really is. Lock it down, baby. All right, moving on to Travis Kelce just being better than he ever needed to be. So he has, this is a, is it or isn't? He doesn't own. He buys a suite every year, of course, for Taylor to attend games and his friends and family. He had done in the past, but he has his own suite. And there's a big photo of him on the field, framed up in the suite on the wall. Mm-hmm. Now, we can't show you this video. You'll have to just Google it. Sorry about it. But there is a photo that people are thinking is Taylor and an Eras Tour poster of... what am I saying? There's a picture of Taylor's Eras Tour poster framed up right next to Travis Kelce. A little bit too small. A little smaller than big old Trav.
I don't know. It's his NFL suite. And also it's like, what if he like redesigned it to all be about Taylor and then it didn't work out? Then you have to...
Well, no, but it's just one frame. You could have blown it up a little bit bigger.
I also think it's kind of giving... Remember in like high school when you had a locker and you were in a relationship and you'd have like their school portrait or something, like just like a couple of cute little things about your relationships in there. It's giving like high school locker energy. And I think it's so sweet.
And they're setting the photos to... and he hangs a picture of us in his office downtown. For those of you that don't know, it's 1989, Year in Love.
1989 is the like theme of today, I guess, it seems.
Yeah, and it's Travis's favorite album.
Yeah.
But I think that's so cute that like he's made her feel so welcome to the point of hanging up a photo of her in his suite. So like it's now her suite, like this is her space.
But also remember the love story starts with Eras Tour, where he created the friendship bracelet to shoot his shot. It didn't work out. It was at that stadium. And then she caught wind of the podcast episode where he talked about the friendship bracelet. So it's a full circle moment. It's not just like, oh, this is my girlfriend and I'm proud of her. This is where their love story began in many, many ways. It's why fans celebrated the 1-year anniversary of that podcast episode where he talked
July
about
26, 13 plus 13, 26.
Yeah, and it's where he was like, oh, I fumbled the ball on shooting my shot. And then ultimately he got the girl.
He got the girl. And she had, like, it's her suite with a photo of her. Oh, it's truly just...
so romantic. It really is.
It's not fair. It's setting the bar way too high. Nobody can achieve this kind of... All right, moving on.
Before we cry.
Moving on to our Tour Talk and Theories segment. So Taylor Swift has been in Germany, in Munich, and this is my favorite thing I've ever seen on the internet. It's truly unbelievable. So she's in the middle of her Eras Tour. She's in the middle of We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, and the fans start singing a little bit too soon. And the way she looks at them, she's like, like she walks over, no. And then she finally waits for the time to like come in and sing. Yeah. And then she sings that at him like, now's the time. She's literally coaching her fans to be like, whoa. And they're like singing with her. And it's just like,
yeah,
so cute.
I think it's really cute, but also it's got to be she knows this like set list in her sleep, inside and out. Also think about like realizing how many bodies are singing at her every night, and she's got to stay on beat and stay on track. And yeah, she has the earpieces, and she can, like, we've seen her follow on the guitars when things have fallen out. But, like, it's got to throw her sometimes for a loop when they're getting her ready to throw off, and she knows it beat by beat. So I think it's even her being like, okay, guys, like.
I don't even think it throw her for a loop. I think she's like, it's kind of phenomenal that, like, she doesn't get thrown.
I know.
Can still hear that they're coming
off.
in too soon.
Yeah.
And, like, she just makes one big joke about it.
Yeah. I just was like, I'm like, for me, I would have been just like, nope, starting over. Like, I don't know if I would have so much patience.
Oh, I would die. If I was that person, I would die.
I would, melt a little.
Oh, that's probably the coolest moment. That'll go down. I have this, like, little video of me in Boston on the floor, and she's, like, decently far away, and I put my hand out, and she puts her hand out. She's not looking at me. It's just, like, it's just one of the dance moves she does. For me, that's peak, but this is really next fucking level.
Remind me, were you at the Rain show?
Duh.
I was there too. I think we talked about this before. I was in the nosebleeds at a point that it got so cloudy we couldn't even see her. But we were having so much fun up there. It didn't even matter because it was like the between the rain and the smoke and everything. We were like, oh no, we can't see the stage anymore. But then I went to SoFi, so it was fine.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, the Rain show was insane.
Oh, truly, I could die happy.
Yeah.
Die a happy woman. All right, moving on. This is very sweet. We have the video. Let's show it.
You've given us your Saturday night, a beautiful summer Saturday night. We've got people in a park outside the stadium, thousands of people listening from out there. You've made us feel so incredibly welcome.
So Taylor Swift, again, Germany in Munich. She's playing a stadium for 70,000 people.
Ooh.
But her show was for 110,000 people because, according to police, about 40,000 people gathered around on a hillside that you could kind of see into the stadium. And, like, police at first were like, you can't gather. And then 40,000 people showed up and they're like, well. And then they brought out toilets for them and garbage cans. So they, like, had a place to pee and enjoy the show.
I mean, like, it really makes me regret not buying a Munich ticket.
Oh, jeez.
I would have been in that field, like, without a doubt.
Oh my God, you could have, like, gone to the show for the first night and then, like, the second night. I don't know how many nights she did, but, like, could have just the next night gone and sat on the hillside.
She even addressed them.
She addresses them and being like, oh, welcome. I know we've got people on the hillside.
Which I think is so great. And just, again, it's like, it's such a celebration. It's like, that's the best thing about the Eras Tour. It's bringing all these people together to just celebrate this work that we all love and are so moved by.
And did you hear this? This is the second time she's done this. She did it in Munich. I think she did it in Milan. I think I'm right about this. She said, don't worry, we will be back. So I think Female Rage, the musical, is
happening.
Done deal.
Because we know Eras Tour is ending in December. She's made that abundantly clear.
She's said it twice now that she's like, we'll be back. We'll be back.
But I also wonder, I wonder if she's going just to tour something new or drop new albums. Like, I think it'll be, like, different than what the Eras Tour has been. She loves touring. She loves connecting with her fans. She's, like, there's some people who just really thrive on the road, and I think she's one of them. Jet lag is a choice, as she says.
Not for me.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Good Lord. Anyway, all right. Moving on to our fun fact of the day. Did you watch this link?
Yeah.
Damn. I was going to see if you knew it.
Oh.
So a young boyfriend, a excellent boyfriend, a Swiftie by association, the girlfriend's a Swiftie. He's sitting there playing the guitar. There's a video on TikTok. Here it is. He says, which, like, goes to show how far down the rabbit hole we've gone with Taylor Swift, because boyfriends are even like, what about this theory?
They're clowning as well.
I don't even know if this is a clown. This is really smart. I was like, damn, I didn't ever think about that. He asked the question, did Taylor Swift purchase her home in Rhode Island because it was the 13th state to join the union?
I personally think it's a bit of a stretch.
No way!
I know you feel really differently.
She literally must have known that.
No, the being from New England and being from Massachusetts, I live 45
There's
minutes.
a difference between Massachusetts and Rhode Island.
No,
baby.
I know. I live 45 minutes away from Rhode Island. I'm right on the South Coast, or South Shore. I know the area. So essentially, she bought the Rhode Island property after her failed relationship with Connor Kennedy.
Was it after or during?
No, after.
And she had a big thing for Ethel.
Yeah. And so she purchased the Cape Cod property when she was all in her Kennedy era, and she was like really like loving the Kennedys and was down bad and like her little preppy vibes.
She wrote a song, Starlight, about the Kennedys.
Yeah.
Ethel and Bobby.
100%. And so then when that relationship went wayside and she had bought a property so close to them, she was being roasted for being like, and being called essentially a stalker for being like, you bought a house near your ex-boyfriend.
They've done that to her every single time.
Oh, yeah,
Got a house in England for Harry Styles. Got a house in Kansas City for
And I
Travis
totally get
Kelce.
it. But this is Kennedy country. This is where they are, where they reside.
This is a sick house.
It was gorgeous. But I think for a fresh start and to kind of escape some of the commentary, she went elsewhere in New England, and honestly, Newport, that region.
Wait a second though. I have to stop you in your tracks.
Go ahead.
This was in the Red era. She wasn't that famous. She was extraordinarily famous, but she was still getting, because I talk to the Paps a lot. I work with the Paps out in the field, and like they basically talk about how when she was in the Red era, like it was so easy to get a shot. She'd walk down the street for Paps. She liked it. She enjoyed it. It wasn't until after when she got papped a lot with Calvin Harris, 1989, where she really took off. So it wasn't like she needed to escape at that moment. I mean, it's a great area.
I'm saying escape like the reminder of like Connor, and
she went to where the Kennedys were. How was she escaping it?
No, but they're not in Rhode Island. They're in the Cape. So she moved where she's at in Watch Hill. That's not Kennedy country. They're in Martha's Vineyard and they're up and down the Cape. She moved to a different coastal area, and I think kind of like made it cooler, made it a scene again.
She liked the area that she was with Connor, but didn't want to be in the area. She was with Connor, similar.
Because that's all his family friends, his childhood friends, all of the Kennedy supporters, the chatter that would be going around. I know that small town kind of vibe. And when it comes to the Kennedys, we put them first. They're on a pedestal. If there's a Kennedy, not saying RFK Jr., but if there's a Kennedy running for Congress, we're voting for him. It's the kind of thing where it's like you fall in line for the Kennedys in that Massachusetts area. Going to Rhode Island, it's the same kind of coastal vibe without having to have the Kennedy like baggage.
I'm going to tell you right now, without any factual information, she bought that house because it's the last great American dynasty, because of the history of that, and because that state was the 13th state to enter the Union.
Okay.
For sure that's true. There's no way. She had to know that.
I think she just likes history and beautiful things. And
13th state in the Union.
And the 13th state in the Union.
I'd bet my life on that fact.
I mean, I bet it helped with the sale.
All right, that's our episode. If you want to watch us on YouTube, you can. If you want to leave a comment about how much you hate me, don't. I mean, you can, but it's just going to upset me and make me sad. Whatever. If you want to listen to us on Apple or Spotify or whatever, please listen. Please leave a comment. We do read your comments, and I do get back to you either on the show or online. Let's have a conversation. We'll talk about it. You tell me how much you hate me. Whatever. Bye-bye!